think the Tigers can get in an Erod trade? Now, I'm assuming he's not talking about right now, but probably at the trade deadline. You guys have any thoughts on that?
I still think that St. Louis is an ideal partner for this trade. I think that if St. Louis has got, they are, it's ridiculous how many prospects they have. I mean, they're not going to get somebody like Mason Wynn, which would be, I mean, in a perfect, in a baseball or in a video game trade situation, then yeah, maybe. But I think it's really, I mean, knowing full well you can opt out, that's also the other thing. It's going to kind of hinder things a little bit. But I think if they can get a regular player that's signed at least for a couple more years, that they can fill a regular position like in the outfield or something to that effect. That, let's say hypothetically speaking, Parker Meadows is here and Riley Green is still struggling. You still want another veteran bat or something to that effect. Um, yeah, I would think maybe like a major league regular and a lottery ticket, if you will.
About like a similar return to the Joe Jimenez trade. That's kind of always what I've been thinking.
No, because again, he can opt out after this year. So if he can opt out, and he can just say screw you. And I mean, if he was signed longer, then yeah, definitely I would expect that. I expect a lot more from that.
So that's the catch-22 of the whole thing. If he's pitching well, he's probably not going to commit to not opting out, right? If he's pitching well, he's going to opt out. So then if you trade him now, you're going to get, maybe what you got for Michael Fulmer last year, maybe a little better since he's a starting pitcher. I don't know. If you can make him agree to not opt out, if the team they're dealing with, if they give him a window to negotiate something, then you can probably do better. Maybe you can then get something along the line of the Jimenez trade or better. But if he's pitching well to make himself marketable, he's going to opt out. He'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are a really good option. Maybe the Diamondbacks, if they continue to play well and they want to make a push for the postseason, and then the Angels as well could be another team. But I think the Cardinals would probably be my favorite choice because I think they have postseason aspirations and their pitching hasn't been that great to start the year.
If he's pitching well, the Tigers got to hope that Scott Harris is the kind of guy who can gin up a trade market, honest to goodness competition to get him. Then they can pump up what they get a little bit, even if they know he's going to opt out. But you need 4 or 5 teams that want him. He's got to pitch pretty darn well to do that.
I think you might be able to package something together. Like again, like if you get what you put in there, and if you're going to get 12 starts from Eduardo Rodríguez, I don't know if you're going to get more than like a minor league depth arm for that. Right. Honestly, it might really help the acquiring team, but they're just not going to pay a premium for that. It always depends on what the market is, but maybe you throw in an Alex Lang, and suddenly you might be able to get. I don't know. I'm thinking like you could get a former top 100 prospect who maybe has fallen, on some hard times or whatever. You maybe try to rehab him a little bit, something like that. But I wouldn't expect. I do think that Justin Henry Malloy type player is probably about as much as you could possibly hope for. But again, you're talking about a starter for 12 games or so rather than a reliever for a full year. But you never know. It depends on the market. It depends on who needs help.
How well would he have to be pitching? I always think about this when contenders are shopping at the trade deadline for a pitcher. Are they getting that guy to make a playoff start? Yeah. And is Erod the kind of guy you're going to pay up a lot, because you're going to bank on him to take a playoff start for you? He's not that guy yet. And we've seen a good start now against Toronto. That was nice, but we're going to see a lot more before entertaining that thought.